Welcome. Please comment where you're watching in the world. Leave a like and sub if you enjoy the stories. There is something so annoying about going on a date with someone, and they just casually drop absolute chaos on you, like 25 minutes in, like it's nothing. Like, by the way, I burned down a church once anyway, do you like olives? That energy. So, last summer, I go on this date. First date. Italian place. Cute, not too fancy. You know the type, dim lighting, candles and old wine bottles. Everyone pretending $19 pasta is rustic. I'm like, okay, this is promising. He shows up, he looks like his pictures, which is already a win in this economy. He smells good. He's funny. He talks a lot, but in an energetic way, not in a please shut up way. I'm thinking maybe. We sit down, order wine, start talking. Now, he's a little frenetic. That's the word. Not creepy, just buzzing. Like his whole nervous system is set to rapid mode. He's talking quickly, jumping topics, kind of oversharing in this chatty way. So in my head I'm like, okay, this man maybe has something going on emotionally, but whatever, first date, not therapy, we're just here to vibe. About 25 minutes in, literally not even through the first glass of wine, he goes, so when was your last relationship? And I'm like, oh wow, okay, we're doing that now. Cool. No warm up. No, what kind of music do you like? Just straight into who broke you and when. But I answer, because I'm a normal person and I know how to have a conversation. So I tell him, honestly, pretty recent. I got out of something about 2 months ago. I'm still kind of figuring it out, kind of getting back out there. Totally normal answer, right? He laughs. Not like, haha, same. Not like, oh wow. He full on laughs. At me. So now I'm looking at him like, what was funny about that, clown man? And he goes, you think 2 months is recently single? In that tone. That sweetie tone. And I'm like, yes? I do actually. I think 2 months is extremely recently single. And he goes, oh. So now I'm like, okay. How recently single are you? Because obviously I know where this is going, but I want to hear him say it out loud so I can know exactly how stupid it's about to get. He goes totally calm. About 48 hours. I just blink. And I go, you've been single for 2 days. And he's like, yeah. So I go, when did you break up? And he's like, Sunday. And I go, as in this past Sunday. And he goes, yeah, like 48 hours ago. Mind you, this conversation is happening on a Tuesday. He is on a first date with me on Tuesday. He broke up with his girlfriend on Sunday. And he says it like he's talking about the weather. Like it's not a big deal. Like it's actually kind of quirky and fun, like haha, yeah, so random. So at this point my whole body is going, wrap it up, pack it in, call for the check. Because listen, I am not doing that. I am not about to be somebody's emotional crutch with a side of breadsticks. I'm not signing up to be your rebound, your revenge post, your look how fast I moved on Instagram story. So I tell him, as nicely as I can, yeah, so I don't think we're looking for the same thing. And he looks genuinely confused. Like I just said something in a language he doesn't speak. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm totally over it. And I'm sitting there like, sir, you are not totally over it. You are still in the same week. Your toothbrush still lives at her sink. Your hoodie still smells like her detergent. You have not even hit the phase where you pretend you're better off. You're still in the part where you're sending long paragraphs and deleting them. So I ask him because I want to be very clear. How long were you together? And he shrugs and goes, I don't know, like 10 months? 10 months. 10 months. Nearly a whole year. That is holidays. That is birthdays. That is my friend group knows you. That is your name is saved in my mom's phone. That's not a fling. And he thinks he is totally over it in 48 hours. And then, this is the part that killed me. He's offended that I'm not signing up for that. He's literally acting like I'm being dramatic for not wanting to be the person he sits across from, pretending he's fine, while he emotionally bleeds out onto the table. Because let's be honest about what this is. Either, hey, he's trying to make his ex jealous. The classic, look how fast I got another girl, babe, I'm already out here. You're basically being used as a prop in a performance she was the intended audience for. Or, B, he's looking for a rebound. Translation, he wants physical closeness and validation right now, so he doesn't have to actually feel the breakup yet. And I am not judging the instinct. People do that. People panic after breakups and go grab the nearest warm human to convince themselves they're not shattered. But I'm not volunteering to be that. And especially not when you don't even try to hide it. You didn't even try to act stable for one dinner. You dropped, I am emotionally unavailable and currently bleeding out from a fresh breakup before the calamari arrived. Like, sir, you could have told me this before I put on eyeliner for you. That's the part that really annoys me with first dates like this, the lack of disclosure. Because now I'm already here. I'm already sitting across from you. I already ordered a drink. I've already used energy. And then you tell me, by the way, I am not actually dating for real. I am in active recovery mode from psychological war. So, dating horror story. Let me tell you about this absolute clown from Bumble. We match, we start talking, and at first I'm like, okay, this is normal. He's cute enough, he can keep a conversation going, he uses punctuation, bare minimum things that in this economy feel rare. We decide to meet up at this sports bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Chill vibes. Nothing fancy. Beer, fries, big TV in the corner with a game on. Easy first meetup. And honestly, it starts off fine. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, the first part of the date was not that bad. We're talking, we're laughing, conversation is smooth. He's doing that light touch on the arm thing. I'm doing the oh stop laugh. You know how it goes. There's actual chemistry, which is already more than you usually get on these apps. So the night's going decent, and when the bar starts to slow down, he's like, do you just want to come back to my place? We can hang out a little longer. And I'm like, sure. Because at that point it didn't feel sketchy. This wasn't 20 minutes in. We'd been talking for a while. I was comfortable enough. So yeah, I go. We get to his place, still vibing, and then his phone rings. Now here's where it goes left. He looks at the screen and immediately does this whole face like worried face. Real serious. Real heavy. He's like, I gotta take this, it's my brother. And he steps into the other room. At first I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm just sitting there, scrolling, sipping, existing. But then I can hear him talking in the other room. Not the words, at first, just the tone. The serious phone call tone. And slowly I'm starting to catch pieces of it. Biopsy. Massachusetts. Spots on the lungs. Oncologist. Like heavy phrases. So he comes back in after a few minutes and just sits there quiet and then looks at me and goes, I have really bad news. Instantly I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And he launches into this whole story about how his brother has testicular cancer. He's crying without tears, you know what I mean? He says his brother already had to have one testicle removed. He says they found a spot on one lung, did chemo, removed it, and now they just found another spot on the other lung. And they have to go to a cancer specialist in the morning. And he has to be there. He's talking fast. He sounds panicked. He keeps saying, I'm so sorry, it's just a lot right now, I'm sorry. Like he feels bad that this is happening on our date. And I'm sitting there like, wow, that is awful. And of course, I immediately go into comfort mode, right? Because I'm a decent person at baseline. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you need anything? Do you need to go? We can just end the night, it's fine. Go be with your brother. Like, I am already imagining this poor guy in a hospital bed. I'm feeling bad for him. I'm ending my own night early out of respect, like, don't worry about texting me, take care of him, family comes first. All that. I hug him. I tell him, please keep me posted. I really hope he's okay. And then I leave. I go home like a normal person, thinking I just witnessed somebody get horrible news in real time. The next morning, I open Bumble. And Bumble is like, this user is no longer available. The man unmatched me. Not, hey, thanks for understanding. Not, hey, my bad, I'm not feeling a connection. Not, it was nice meeting you. Just gone. Like I hallucinated him. And I'm sitting there staring at my phone like, wait. No way. You did not just lie about your brother having cancer to ditch me. You did not spin late-stage cancer fanfiction just to never talk to me again. So I text him. Because yes, I still had his number. I said, you didn't need to lie. You could have just said you weren't interested. And do you know what he says back? He goes, yeah, I'm not really interested. I just didn't know how to say it. Sorry. That's it. Just casual. Like we're talking about not wanting the last mozzarella stick. Like it's normal to fake a whole medical emergency, assign fake tumors to a fake lung, perform a fake emotional breakdown, and then go, LOL anyway, bye. And here's the part that actually makes me mad. Because it's not just that he lied. People lie. It's that he lied about cancer. He used my brother has cancer as an exit strategy. He weaponized sympathy. Like think about that. You're on a date with me, you decide you're not feeling it, and instead of being a grown adult and saying, Hey, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. You invent a dying relative. And not just he's sick. No. You gave me details. You gave me surgery. You gave me chemo. You gave me metastasis. You gave me timeline. You built lore. And look, I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. If a man will lie on his own family's health to get out of 5 more minutes of face-to-face honesty, that is not a man. That is a full-grown boy. Bare minimum communication? Not there. Empathy? Fake. Respect? Non-existent. And I honestly hope he doesn't have a brother. Because if he does, imagine being that brother. Imagine finding out someone out here using your body as a prop in their little coward play. So yeah, my lesson from that one. If he gives you a whole sob story in Act 1, check the receipts. Because some of them would rather invent tragedy than tell the truth like an adult. My friend starts going to the gym. And when I say going to the gym, I don't mean cute little once-a-week Pilates. I mean she is in there at wild hours. Like 11 p.m. lifts. 5 a.m. before work cardio. That healing era, I'm working on myself, nobody can stop me grind. And after a while, she notices something. This older man? He's always there. Like always. Doesn't matter what time she goes. She goes late? He's there. She goes early? He's there. She goes in the middle of the day, once on a random Wednesday. Guess who's there? Him. Stretching. Doing his little machines. Hanging around. At first she's like, okay, maybe he's just serious about fitness. Some older guys are like that. They're in their health is wealth era, taking turmeric, doing mobility work, drinking those weird green powders. Fine. And to be fair, he looks good. She told us that. Repeatedly. She kept saying, no, because listen. He's older, yeah, but he looks good. His skin? So smooth. No neck wrinkles. No sunspots. He looks young. He dresses nice. He smells clean. He's got the little silver stubble, the salt and pepper thing happening. He's put together. So when he finally comes over one night and starts spitting a little game, she lets him. They talk. It's light. Playful. He's respectful. He's not giving creep leaning over you to adjust your squat form. He's giving, may I approach like a gentleman? And she's like, okay. Why not? Now. She knows he's older. She knows this is not a 28-year-old. But she's thinking like maybe late 40s. Very well-maintained late 40s. Possibly 50 if you only see him in gym lighting, where everybody looks more hydrated than they are. They go on a couple dates. Coffee. Smoothie bowls. One little dinner. It's fine. He's charming. He's attentive. He texts good morning. He calls. He wants to see her. She's like, wow, a grown man with consistent attention, imagine. And then after about a month, it starts shifting. It's date 3. Things are getting a little spicy. A little touchy. He's kissing her neck, he's whispering, you know, that stage. And he starts being real insistent about coming over to her place. Not, can I see you again? Not, can we hang out more? It's so, what's your address? When can I come by? I'll bring wine. I'll cook for you. Why don't we just do it at your place? It's more comfortable at yours. And she's like, because something in her stomach goes nah. So she starts pushing back. No, we can go to your place. I don't really like people in my space like that yet. Let's go to your place. And he immediately has a reason. He's like, oh yeah, well, I actually live with my mom. She's 91. She's very old, she's very fragile, and I don't really want to bring people over and stress her out, you know? I'm just trying to keep things calm for her. And at first she's like, ah. Because he says it in that way that makes it sound sweet. Like he's a caretaker. Like he's thoughtful, loyal, responsible. Like he's a good son. You hear, I take care of my elderly mother, and your ovaries try to sign the man a mortgage. But the feeling in her stomach is still saying, girl, I said no. So she stands on it. She's like, okay, well, I'm not inviting you into my apartment. So if you want to continue this, we can go to your house. If not, I'm going home. And that's when the mask slips. He stops being romantic. He gets pushy. He gets irritated. He's like, babe, come on. Why are you being like this? It's just more comfortable at your place. It's not that deep. Which is exactly how men talk when they're not hearing no. They're hearing, you are blocking my plan. So she's like, nope. Your place or nothing. And finally, he gives in. He's like, fine. Whatever. We'll go to my place. But just don't like freak out, okay? It's kind of under construction right now. Under construction. Okay, Bob the Builder. So they drive over. And before they even get out of the car, she's like, oh, because the house, it's run down. I'm talking peeling paint, half-rotted porch steps, grass doing its own thing, rusted-out Cadillac sitting in the front yard like a dead animal. It is not. A little messy because I've been busy caring for my elderly mother. It is. This property has stories. And she's thinking, why does a man who looks that polished live here? That's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is the fact that before they even get to the door, she can already smell cooking. Like somebody is actively making food inside. Not old food smell, not leftovers, but sizzling. Voices. Movement. People. Baby. He does not live with his elderly mother. He lives with multiple people. She said they walk in, and it's chaos. There's a guy in the kitchen stirring a pot like he pays bills there. There are bags, jackets, shoes, stuff everywhere. You can tell immediately this is not my house. This is, I sleep here. So she gives him a look like, so this is your mom's house, huh? And he doesn't even flinch. He's proud. He's like, yeah, don't worry about them. And he's already trying to pull her closer, put his hands on her, start kissing her neck like we're just gonna act normal and get into it right here in the living room. Not, let me show you to my room. Not, let's get comfortable. No, right there, on the couch in the middle of the common area. And that's when she realizes, this is his room. That couch is his bed. And suddenly the whole month makes sense. Why he's always at the gym, because that's where he showers, where he feels put together, where he looks valuable. Why he wants to come to her place so bad. Why he's trying to escalate so fast. Why he's trying to make it serious after like 4 hangouts. It's not romance. It's housing. He's shopping for a place to stay. And listen, this is the part you really, really need to hear. She said the energy in that moment, it switched from, oh, he thinks I'm cute, to, oh, he thinks I'm an opportunity. And a lot of women don't clock that fast enough. Because he wasn't trying to hook up because he couldn't control himself. He was trying to hook up because locking in physical access is step 1. Then comes the toothbrush. Then comes, I'm already here, I'll just crash. Then comes, why am I paying rent there if I'm sleeping here? Then comes, babe, can you help me out till I get back on my feet? That is not a boyfriend. That is a tenant. So she shuts it down. Immediately. She physically steps back. She's like, absolutely not. No, we're not doing this. I'm leaving. And he tries to guilt her. Why are you acting like this? Wow, so you're just gonna go. You don't even want to stay and chill? All that. She's already walking to the door. She said she didn't even argue. She just turned around, walked out, got in her car, blocked him, and that was it. And after she told me all this, she was like, I really think he thought he had me. Like he really thought I was gonna let him in, and that was gonna be it, and I'd have a whole 60-year-old roommate by next week. Oh yeah, by the way, you ready for the age? He was 60. 6. 0. Not 48 but moisturized. 60. 60 and looking for somewhere to sleep that wasn't a shared living room. And this is where I give my little PSA, because some of y'all need to hear it with your whole chest. There's a word for this. It's called a hobosexual. Not homosexual. Hobosexual. A man who dates you because you have a place to live. But this? No. Jail. So, picture it. New York City. I've been seeing this guy for like 2 or 3 dates. Not a total stranger. We've gone out for drinks, we've had dinner, we've had flirty texting. It's not like, hey random guy from Craigslist, let me into your home. We're past that. I feel somewhat comfortable. We go out to dinner again, cute, normal, and at the end of the night he hits me with, do you want to come back to my place for a drink before you head home? Now, important detail, he lives in Manhattan, I live in Brooklyn. If you don't live here, let me translate. That is not come up for a drink. That is, are you committing to this location for the rest of the evening because you are not casually Ubering back across the river in 5 minutes? This is logistics. But I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. I'll come by for 1 drink. 1 glass of wine. We'll sit on the couch, talk, be cute, I'll go home. That's the energy. We get to his apartment. The door opens. And I knew. The way I should have just spun on 1 heel and left. I should have trusted that first 3 seconds of spiritual nausea. Because right away, before I even fully step in, I see the kitchen. When I say sink full of dishes, I do not mean a couple plates soaking. I mean the entire sink, piled to the top, and then spilling over onto the counter. The stack is not vertical anymore. It has achieved landmass. It has migrated. There are pans in the sink. Pots in the sink. Forks fossilized into bowls. There's Tupperware with something in it that I think maybe used to be food in a past life, but now looks like a science fair project. And it's not just in the sink. No. It is creeping. Onto the stove. Onto the other counter. It's like the dishes staged an insurrection and took over his kitchen. I do not see a single clean surface. I do not see the color of the countertop. And of course he's doing that. Sorry, I've been really busy. And I'm standing there like, sir, this is not busy. This is not, work's been crazy. This is a lifestyle. This is a habitat. We are walking into an ecosystem. But I'm like, okay. Be open-minded. People get messy. Don't be shallow. Maybe his room is clean. Maybe it's just the kitchen. Maybe I'm being judgmental. This is me lying to myself to survive. We sit on the couch. The couch is actually fine. I'm like, okay, maybe we're good. Maybe this man just struggles with dishwashing. Who among us has not lost a battle with a casserole dish, you know? He's like, I'm gonna get some wine. And I, without even thinking, very quickly go, do you have plastic cups? I don't want you to have to wash anything after. Totally fine with plastic. Because I am not putting my mouth on anything in that kitchen that has ever touched that sink. I am absolutely not playing, am I drinking out of a cholera cup tonight? With a man I met 12 days ago. And here's the sad part. He's proud that he has plastic cups. He's like, oh yeah, I've got some. Like, sir, yes, congratulations, you own Solo cups. You are running a college pregame out of a grown man apartment. So he pours us wine in cups like we're at a tailgate, and I'm doing my best to just be normal. Because I'm already at the point of the night where I'm like, I'm gonna leave soon. I can feel my body wanting to exit. You know when you're already planning your lie. You're like, I have to get up early tomorrow. And it's not true, but you're warming it up in your mouth. That's me. Anyway, we're having wine. And then it hits me. I have to pee. Now this is where the story turns psychological horror. Because at this point I'm thinking, oh God, if the kitchen looks like that, what does the bathroom look like? But what am I gonna do? Hold it until Brooklyn? Do you know how long it takes to get from a random man's apartment in Manhattan to my apartment in Brooklyn at night when you're in tights and heels and full bladder panic? No. So I'm like, hey, can I use your bathroom? He says yeah, points me down the hall. I go in. I open the toilet. I am telling you with my whole chest, it was the filthiest toilet I have ever seen in my entire life. In my life. I am talking black. Black buildup. Ring around the bowl that looks like it's been there since Obama's first term. Dried urine stains. Brown streaks actually dripping down the inside. The seat? Questionable. The hinges? I don't even have vocabulary for what was happening on the hinges. It smelled humid. It smelled alive. I stood there in the doorway, knees locked, like my soul had just left my body and was hovering by the ceiling like, girl, I'll come back when you're finished dealing with that. I actually said out loud to no one, oh no. No. Because here's the situation. Biologically, I have to go. Emotionally, spiritually, hygienically, I refuse. So I start scanning. I'm like, okay, think. Be resourceful. What do we have? What are our tools? We are in survival mode now. And under his sink, and I still don't know if this was God giving me one last favor before abandoning me. Under his sink, I see cleaning supplies. I see toilet cleaner. I see a toilet brush. And I'm like, there is actually only one way out of this. So I roll up my sleeves, and I start cleaning this man's toilet. Let me repeat that. On date 3 in a man's apartment, I am scrubbing his toilet so that I can safely pee and then run for my life. I am in there like a hostage doing community service. Spraying, scrubbing, gagging, dry heaving, bargaining with God, all of it. I am doing a full bathroom reboot while this man is in the other room thinking we're having a romantic evening. And of course, while I'm mid-scrub, he knocks on the door. He's like, hey, are you okay? You've been in there a while. Can I come in? And I yell back, no, you cannot come in. But he opens the door anyway. Absolutely no boundaries. Just opens it, and just stops in the doorway like he's confused. And he goes, what are you doing? And I turn around with this toilet brush in my hand like a weapon, and I say, I am cleaning your toilet. And he has the nerve to go, well look, I have all the stuff to clean it. Sir, having cleaning products in your bathroom does not mean you get credit for being clean. That's like me saying I own a treadmill, and therefore I'm an athlete. Use it. So I look at him and I go, when was the last time you cleaned this? Silence. I said, no, answer me. When was the last time you cleaned this toilet? You mean to tell me you wake up every morning, you stand over this, and that's fine with you? He's just standing there, like I'm being dramatic. And in that exact moment, I was like, I am done. I am out. I am absolutely never speaking to you again. So I cleaned that toilet enough to safely hover. I did what I had to do. I washed my hands for like a full 90 seconds like I was prepping for surgery. I walk out. I grab my bag. I'm like, thank you for the wine, I'm gonna head home. Called a taxi. And I never spoke to him again. So I met this man in 2020. And when I tell you I love this man, I love this man. He was absolutely my type. Tall, fine, said all the right things, acted like he had his life together. You know when someone fits the exact silhouette you've built in your head and you go, oh okay, God heard me. Yeah, that was him. We go on a couple dates, it's going great, we're vibing, I'm already mentally designing the couple's Halloween costume. Then right around date 3, he disappears. Ghosted. Vanished. Whole week. No good morning. No hey I'm busy, nothing. Like he fell off the planet. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm stupid. I tell myself, whatever lesson learned, I'll move on. Then he hits me up. I'm so sorry. I've just had a lot going on. I want to make it up to you. Can you come over? Please come over. I really want to see you. And because I was delusional and in love, I go. Of course I go. Because in my head, this is still my person, not a walking cautionary tale. I pull up to his house. He opens the door. And I have to stand there and process what I'm looking at. His entire face is wrapped. I'm talking gauze, tape, swelling, bruising. From the bridge of his nose down to halfway down his neck, wrapped. He looks like a post-op mummy. I'm like, hi. He's like, oh yeah, I had sinus surgery. Real casual. I'm not feeling well. Come in. Sir, if you are not feeling well, why did you beg me to come over? Why did you summon me like a DoorDash with feelings? So now I'm in his house, sitting on his couch, feeling weird because we're supposed to be like rekindling the spark, and instead I'm looking at a man who's leaking through the bandages. This is not romantic. This is a medical setting. Then his friend shows up. Like actually shows up. Walks in. Not a hey, I'm dropping soup poppin'. This man is clearly here to check on him, because he's worried. Which cute on paper. But it's now me, a girl who's basically still in the job interview phase, sitting in a living room with Mr. Wrapped Face and his best friend, like I'm meeting the family at Thanksgiving, and we're all just vibing? It's weird. So we're doing this awkward small talk, right? His friend is asking him if he's okay. Do you need anything? Do you need ice? Do you need meds? And then out of nowhere, Wrapped Face turns and goes, hey Stace, would you mind going to the kitchen and making us some burgers? I'm sorry? First of all, I am in a white dress. Head to toe. I did not come here to work the grill at Five Guys. Second, who don't cook his meat? Me. I don't cook his meat. Third, you are post-op. You invited me. Why am I catering? So I literally say, no, I can't do that. He goes, okay, well can you at least boil me an egg? An egg. An egg. Like I'm his nurse. And you have to understand, at this point I'm just trying to keep the peace because his friend is right there, and I'm not trying to start yelling in front of company. So I'm like, okay, I'll boil an egg. I don't even boil eggs like that. I had to literally Google how long to boil an egg hard boiled on the low in this man's kitchen. Which, by the way, is stove. Demon technology. NASA grade. I'm pressing buttons and nothing's happening. It's not clicking, it's like induction nonsense. I'm standing there in this white dress, quietly panicking over an egg like it's a bomb, while his friend has to come in and help me turn the stove on. So now I look incompetent in front of the friend. I did not come here to audition to be your wife/home health aide. So the egg finally gets boiled. I bring it to him. His friend's like, well, I'm gonna head out. And I'm like, great, I'll walk you out, I'll head out too, so good to see you guys, bye. Because I am absolutely planning to leave. Nope. The friend leaves and this man flips. Flips. He looks at me, face still wrapped, mind you, like if a Subway sandwich came to life, and goes, what kind of woman doesn't know how to cook a burger? You embarrassed me in front of my friend. That was embarrassing for me. Excuse me? Not, thank you for the egg. Not, thank you for driving over here when you literally did not have to. No. He's mad because I did not get in a strange man's kitchen and start slinging ground beef on demand like we're married and I'm behind on rent. So I stand up like, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm leaving. This energy? I don't do this. I grab my stuff. I'm heading for the door. And that's when it gets actually scary. He stands up. Fast. He gets in front of me and goes, "No. I demand you stay. Not please stay. Not can we talk. I demand you stay." And then he hits me with, "I can tell you've never dated an alpha male. You don't know how to treat an alpha male. Sir, you are wearing more tape than a shipping label. Your face is literally dripping. You just begged me unannounced to be your live-in nurse/cook/maid, and now you're blocking the door telling me you demand I stay? That's not alpha. That's a walking red flag cosplay." In this moment I go quiet because now I'm like, okay, this is not just irritating. This could get dangerous. His energy shifted. He's mad, he's pacing, he's saying I embarrassed him. I'm thinking, if I argue right now, will he grab me? Do I need to get loud or do I need to get small? That survival math that women have to do. And then, mid-rant, he starts bleeding. Like actually bleeding. Through the bandages. It's running down his face onto his shirt. He's still trying to talk like he's in control, and I'm just staring. I'm like, "Sir, you're leaking. Can you sit down?" He's yelling. Then suddenly he does this dramatic little fall back into a chair like he's fainting. I'm sorry, I know this is serious, but it was giving fake swoon. It was giving community theater. And I'm just standing there in my white dress like, I am not touching you. Because now there is blood. Sir, you are not ruining my outfit and my peace. After a minute, he comes to and the first words out of his mouth are, "Can you run to Chipotle? I'm starving." Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "I scared you." Not, "I should calm down." Chipotle. Chipotle. I said, absolutely. I'll go get that for you. Because at this point, yes, I will absolutely go get food for you. I will go get food so far away from here. He gives me his debit card. I walk out that door. I get in my car. I put the debit card on top of his mailbox like a participation trophy, and I leave. Blocked, gone, goodbye. Did I go back 2 weeks later? Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, I did. We're not going to talk about that part. That's between me and my self-respect. But here's what I will say. He ended up being a full-on polygamist. You don't know how to submit to a real man guy. A women these days don't know how to take care of a king guy. Meanwhile, he couldn't boil his own egg. Couldn't stand up without leaking. Needed me to Uber him some carnitas. So let me help you. If a man has to tell you he's an alpha, he's not. So about a month ago, I went on what I thought was the best first date ever with this guy I met on Hinge. We'd been talking for weeks, texting all day, sending voice notes, that whole fake, we have chemistry phase. He said he was 36, recently divorced, and honestly, he came across mature, stable, emotionally intelligent. The things you tell yourself you're finally ready for. On that first date, he tells me he's been separated for 2 years and officially divorced for 2 months. Which is fast. Like, emotionally dehydrated fast. But I tried to be understanding. I even told him right then, "Hey, I'm not rushing anything. I've been love-bombed before. I want to go slow this time." He said, "Of course, I respect that." Then texted me the very next morning. "So when can I see you again?" I said no. Next day he asked again. And again. By day 4 I was like, okay, maybe persistence isn't a red flag, which, spoiler alert, it is. So we planned to meet midweek for our official second date. But the night before he texts, "I can't wait that long. Want to grab a quick drink before your friend's party?" So I go. We meet in DC, candlelight, music, easy conversation. Then he drops this random bomb mid-sentence. "Oh, by the way, I'm actually 39. My Hinge age is wrong." Excuse me? Either you lied when you made your account, or you had Hinge while you were still married. There's literally no non-creepy option here. I even made him show me his ID at the table. He actually pulled it out. 39. I told him flat out, there's never a chill way to tell someone you lied about your age. Just don't. I should have been done there. But he was charming, funny, a little too smooth. That's how they get you. You start confusing adrenaline for attraction. So we make it to our official second date. He tells me to be ready at 7, says he has a surprise planned. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a cute dinner or something thoughtful. I get dressed up, he picks me up, and we go to this really nice place in DC. Good food, great conversation, everything's clicking. Then, over dessert, he goes, "I have another surprise. I booked a hotel tonight. I have to work early in Arlington, and didn't want to drive back to Maryland." And I'm sitting there like, that's weirdly convenient. He doesn't ask me to stay, he just plants it, all innocent. I have a room, it's totally platonic unless you bring it up. Classic manipulation. After dinner, we get drinks, end up at the hotel, and yeah, one thing leads to another. He's sweet, he's attentive, he kisses like a man who's practiced this script before. I go home the next morning feeling like, wow, maybe this is something real. But then I start thinking. He lives in Maryland, like 30 minutes away. The hotel is in DC, and he's supposedly working in Arlington, which is closer to Maryland. So why would he stay in a hotel that's actually farther from work, but right next to me? So I do what any slightly paranoid but very smart woman does. I run a background check. $25. Best money I've ever spent. Guess what I find? No divorce record. Anywhere. I call the Maryland court clerk like, "Hi, can you check if a divorce was ever filed for this man?" Nothing. Not sealed, not pending, nothing. Meaning, he's still married. So I post him in the Facebook group, "Are we dating the same guy, DC?" Within an hour, women are commenting like, "Wait, that's Danny? He did the hotel thing with me too." Another says, "Same excuse, early meeting in Arlington." There are literally multiple women describing the same story, word for word. Then a comment pops up. "Hi, I'm his wife. Please call me." My stomach dropped. I call her, and she's calm. Too calm. She says she's known about the cheating for years. He's done it dozens of times. Still lives with her. Refuses to divorce. Tells each woman the other one's crazy. It's like a script. And suddenly I'm realizing that romantic surprise wasn't romance. It was a setup. That connection wasn't chemistry. It was performance. I was in a hotel room alone with a stranger who's lied to every woman he's touched. Ran into this guy from college that I literally hadn't seen in 10 years. Let's call him Andy. And when I say ran into, I mean the universe threw him at me in the most awkward way possible. On the tube during rush hour, when there's nowhere to hide, nowhere to pretend you didn't see someone. Now backstory. Andy and I were not friends in college. We weren't enemies, but we had that weird energy, the constant tension like magnets flipped the wrong way. He was loud, charming, always needed attention, and he made sure everyone knew when I walked in the room. He'd tease me, mock me, sometimes just say things that were a little too pointed. People thought we were flirting. We weren't. He was the type who'd embarrass you publicly, and then wink like it was a joke. I remember one night in particular, I finally snapped and told him off in front of a whole table of people. It was bad. He went quiet, red-faced, and after that, he basically ignored me for the rest of university. Which was fine by me. I moved on, graduated, never saw him again. Until London. So I'm on the Victoria line, headphones in, minding my business, and someone taps my shoulder. I turn, and there he is, Andy. 10 years older, beard, same smug smile. My stomach drops. Like full body reaction. He goes, "No way, it's you," like he's spotting a celebrity. And immediately starts talking, not just small talk, but full-on life story. How he moved back to London, new job, breakup, therapy, growth. And I'm trapped. I can't even fake a signal drop or an, "Oh, this is my stop," because we're both clearly going the same direction. So I just listen, smile, nod. The whole polite British, yeah, right routine while silently praying for death or at least a delay. He keeps talking, filling every silence with little jokes, little compliments. "You haven't aged a day. I was such an idiot back then. You look even better now." I laugh once, just to be civil, and he acts like I proposed. Then out of nowhere, he goes, "You know, I owe you an apology." I blink. "For what?" And he says, "For how I treated you. Back then. I was a prick to you. I think I actually liked you, and I didn't know how to handle it." And that right there, that's the kind of sentence that sounds mature until you hear the undertone. Because what he's really saying is, I wanted control, not connection. He doesn't look sorry. He looks like he's performing regret to see how I'll react. I tell him, it's fine. That was a long time ago. But he keeps going. Like he's trying to rewrite history in real time. "You were intimidating. I thought you were out of my league. So I just acted stupid. And it's weird. I can feel the old dynamic sneaking back in. He's the talker, I'm the listener. He's in control again. We reach the station, same stop, of course. He insists on walking me out. I try to make an exit, but he slows his pace, blocking me slightly. He's smiling, but hovering. He says, "We should catch up properly sometime. Get dinner. Maybe drinks." I lie and say, "Sure, maybe." By the time I'm above ground, he's already found me on Instagram. DM within 10 minutes. "You looked incredible today." I can't believe I wasted all that time hating you instead of dating you. And I just sit there staring at my phone like, is this man doing a redemption arc or a soft launch? Over the next few days, he keeps messaging. Compliments, jokes, nostalgic stuff. At first I reply politely, then slower, then not at all. He notices. Sends one long message about how amazing it would be to start fresh as adults. Says he's not that guy anymore. And maybe 10 years ago, that line would have worked. But now I can see what he's really doing. It's not closure he wants, it's validation. He wants the girl he humiliated to tell him he's changed. He wants me to forgive him so he can feel like a good man again. So I tell him, I appreciate the apology, but I don't think we need to reconnect. Take care. And he replies with the classic manipulative line. Wow, guess people never really change, huh? Like I'm the one who didn't grow. Part 1 of my husband's 6-year affair, living a full double life. I watched the 11-part story so you don't have to. So this woman, right? She's married. Years in. Kids. Family. Regular life. She thinks she's got a husband who's not perfect, but present. She thinks her life is normal. Then the day they're supposed to leave for vacation, like literal bags packed, kids excited, family memories loading, she finds out something insane. She finds out that her husband has an entire other relationship. Not just he's cheating. No. We're not talking, I caught a flirty text. We're talking, he has a whole other woman, a whole second household, and a child with this other woman. And not like a secret baby that he barely knows. That's what he tells her, by the way. His first version is, oh, it's complicated, we're not really together anymore. Yeah, technically there's a kid, but I don't really see her, it's not like that. He says this while they're about to go on a family vacation. So obviously she's like, what? The math is not matting. But she's already promised this trip to the kids. She's already mentally in I'm holding it together mode. So she does what moms always end up doing, which is, she doesn't even get to fall apart properly. She lets him say whatever nonsense, and then she's like, okay, I will deal with this after. The kids still get their beach week. Except he doesn't even go on the trip. He tells her he can't make it. Work, whatever, some emergency. She ends up driving herself and the kids on this trip they were supposed to take as a family. And the whole way there she's trying not to cry, trying not to let the kids feel that something is very, very wrong. She said the kids were literally in the back seat, like, where's Dad? And she's choking on lies, saying, he'll meet us later. Meanwhile, she's sitting there with her stomach in knots, phone in her hand, trying to keep it together, acting like everything's normal for 7 straight days. And while she's out there doing emotional gymnastics just to keep her kids happy on vacation. He's on vacation too, with the other woman. And not just with her, with the other woman's family. Like in photos, on trips, doing the whole meet the in-laws thing, taking matching pictures. Taking their kid around like this is his main home. So imagine you're this wife. Your kids are on the beach crying because daddy didn't come. You're making sandwiches, spraying sunscreen, tucking them in at night, and meanwhile you find out the reason he couldn't make it is because he was at a cookout with his other girlfriend's parents and holding that other little girl like she's part of his main family, and yours are the side piece. That right there almost broke her. But it keeps going. While she's on that trip with the kids, she turns into a detective. She figures out who the woman is. She starts piecing timelines together. She finds pictures. She sees messages. She realizes this wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a bad weekend. This was a full second life. And when she comes back home from that trip, alone, still pretending everything is fine, she has to figure out, do I blow this up right now? Do I tell the kids? Do I kick him out? What happens? What does my life even look like after this? And here's where this story turns from messy to you're kidding me. He begs her to stay. Not, I'm sorry, I'll fix this. Not, I'll move out. No. He says basically, please don't leave. Please don't break up our home. Let's just keep going. And he uses the kids to do it. He says, for the kids, let's not ruin their lives. Let's just work it out. Please don't make a scene. So she does what a lot of women do when there are kids involved and money involved and a mortgage involved and you're exhausted and embarrassed and you don't even know where to start. She stays. For now. She tells herself, okay, fine. We'll see. We'll work it out. They tell the kids basically nothing. They stay in the same house. She's dying inside, but she's like, I'm going to try to hold this together and be civil so these kids do not lose their father overnight. And during that time, she meets the daughter, his other daughter, Because plot twist, not only does he know this child, this little girl adores him. She calls him dad. She's attached to him. She's not confused. To her, this is her father. She runs to him. She expects his attention. Like, it is clearly not, I barely know her. It's, I have a whole relationship with this child and I've had it. And this wife, this woman who has every right to burn the entire city down, she does the opposite. She takes that little girl in. I need you to understand how big that is. This woman invites the other child to join in summer activities with her kids. She lets this girl come over. She treats her like she belongs. They do stuff together. She treats her like family because, in her words, it's not the kid's fault. It goes even deeper. Toward the end of summer, the other girl has a birthday. And where is the party? Their house. The wife hosts the birthday party in her own home for the child her husband had with someone else. She plans this girl's birthday so she won't feel left out. She ices the cake for the living evidence of her betrayal. Do you hear how heavy that is? Meanwhile, and of course there's a meanwhile, while all this is happening, he's still lying. He's leaving at night saying he's working. He's not. He's at the other house. Still splitting time. Still pretending to both women that the other one doesn't matter. Still keeping his two lives running parallel. And the wife is slowly waking up like, I am not crazy. I am being manipulated out loud in my own kitchen. At some point, she tries to contact the other woman directly. Not in a fight me way. In a we're both being lied to, and we both need to know what our kids are around way. Except she can't reach her. She's blocked on everything. Why? Because the husband physically took the other woman's phone and blocked his wife's number and met her for her, so they couldn't compare stories. That is how deep the control went. He literally managed communications between two women, so neither of them could fact-check him. Eventually, they get through to each other anyway. And when they finally talk, the truth comes out. And this is one of the worst parts. The other woman thinks he and his wife are already divorcing. She thinks, oh, he's basically separated. She thinks the wife is like the bitter ex who won't move out. Meanwhile, the wife thinks the other woman is some random side fling. Both of them were being told different scripts to keep them quiet. When they finally align timelines, it all breaks open. The wife is like, I'm done. She files for divorce. She starts therapy for herself and for the kids, because at this point she is realizing her kids aren't as unaware as she thought. They saw things. They heard arguments behind doors and just protected her by keeping quiet. That shattered her. She said the oldest son doesn't even want contact with his father now. The daughter will talk to him, but barely. The youngest still wants to see him sometimes, and honestly, that scares her, because how do you co-parent with somebody you don't trust alone with your heart? My brother had been with this girl, we'll call her Sarah, for about 4 years. And the situation was always a bit odd. We barely saw her, barely met her, barely knew anything about her. Why? Because they're from two different religions, and from her side it was basically forbidden. She couldn't introduce him to her family, because her family would have literally disowned her. So you need to understand, I actually tried with this girl. I stuck up for her all the time for years. And then the mask absolutely slid off. So, Halloween. Sarah had this very swanky flat in South Kensington. You know the kind, marble countertops, ugly expensive art that looks like someone sneezed black paint, and furniture in colors no normal person would buy on purpose. She used to throw these only my posh friends are invited parties. I had never been invited before. Ever. Then one day, out of nowhere, she's like, you should come to the Halloween party. Bring your makeup kit. Red flag number 1. Now, at the time I had literally just started doing makeup professionally. Like I was new. I was doing clients out of the house, building a portfolio, charging just enough to cover product. So when she said, bring your kit, I thought, oh my God, this is huge for me. I can get practice and pictures. When I get there, babe, I wasn't a guest. I was staff. I'm in the corner, standing there like a mascara goblin while she parades her rich friends in front of me one after another. Can you do her eyes? Can you contour her jawline? Can you fix her lashes? They're a bit sad. I did full faces on like 10 different girls. Full glam. No one offered to pay. No one even offered me a drink half the time. I'm just there, smiling like an unpaid intern in Primark lashes. But I still wasn't even mad yet, because honestly I thought, whatever. I'll get photos. I'll build my book. Exposure, blah blah. Then we go out. Now listen, I can do a bar. I can do a pub. I can do something normal. But this was not my scene. This was some kind of members only, bottle service, people screaming over house music situation. I'm in the corner like a GCSE field trip chaperone, just standing there holding my bag, doing polite smiles. Apparently my face showed it. At some point in the night, she just chucks her keys at me, literally tosses them, and goes, "If you're bored, go back to mine. Sleep there if you want. No, thank you for doing everyone's makeup for free. No, are you okay? No warmth. Just attitude." I thought it was a bit rude, but fine. I'm tired. I get an Uber, go back to her flat, wash my face, and I go to sleep on her sofa. Now, pause here. This sofa, in her mind, was the crown jewel of South Kensington. It was this hideous moss green, low, blocky thing. It looked like if a pea and a brick had a baby. But in her head, it was a throne. So at about 4 in the morning, they all stumble back in from their posh night out. And she starts screaming. Not like, "Haha, you're on my sofa, hee hee." No, screaming. "What are you doing on my sofa? Do you have any idea how much that sofa costs? That sofa cost more than your car." She said that, out loud, to my actual face. I am half asleep, makeup half off, sitting there blinking like a raccoon in headlights while this girl is going in on me about her green sofa. My brother's trying to calm her down, they start arguing. It turns into this full screaming match in front of everyone, in her flat at 4 a.m. He gets mad and leaves. I'm literally being talked to like a 7-year-old. Go to my room. Go get in my bed. You're not sleeping on my sofa. I don't want your face oils or whatever on my sofa. Face oils? Girl, shut up. I would have gone in the bed to begin with, but I thought sleeping on the sofa was polite. That was incident number 1. You'd think that would be enough, yeah? You'd think we'd all say, okay, that was unhinged. But no, it gets worse. Fast forward, it's around my 21st birthday. I'm working for my brother at the time, helping out in one of his offices. We're close. He calls me on a Saturday and says, "We've got a table at this restaurant. Do you and my boyfriend, now husband, want to come?" The restaurant is one of those ridiculous places food people drool over. Like, 500 pounds per head, kind of insane. I had never even heard of it. I thought he was joking. I literally said, "Absolutely not. I cannot afford that. I have savings goals." He goes, No. I'll pay. It's your birthday. It's us and Sarah and 2 of our friends who've dropped out, so just come. I don't want to lose the deposit. So we rush. We drive over an hour away, we're exhausted. We haven't even changed properly, but we're like, wow, he's doing something nice for my 21st. This is huge. We sit down. And yes, the food is insane. It's theater. Headphones with the dishes, smoke under glass domes, people describing olives like they wrote poetry about them. All that. But as the night goes on, Sarah starts drinking heavy. And the more she drinks, the meaner she gets. She's saying little things. "Oh, you know what would really help you? A bit of Botox here." And she pokes my forehead. Mind you, I am 21. She starts saying, "When me and your brother get married, I'm not changing my last name, because Sarah, brother's last name, just sounds cheap." She says this to my face. My name. My actual last name. Then she does that fake laugh like it's a joke. Classic mean girl tactic. Say something nasty, then laugh so you look sensitive if you get upset. Me and my boyfriend are stone cold sober, by the way, because we saw the prices on the menu and said, "We will be drinking water tonight and we will be grateful." Then at some point, my brother goes outside for a smoke. He takes my boyfriend with him. They disappear. And suddenly the bill shows up. Now, let's review. My brother invited us. He said, "I'll pay. I don't want to lose the 200 pounds deposit." He knows I do not have that kind of money. I had literally just finished my busiest Saturday ever doing makeup clients and made like 570 pounds and felt rich. That was my little travel fund. That was everything I had. Sarah takes the bill. Doesn't blink. She goes, "Okay, so your half is 1,000 pounds. I said, "I'm sorry." She goes, "Yeah, split down the middle. Me and brother are covering our bit. You and boyfriend can cover yours. It's about 1,000. First of all, our bit? There is no our bit. He said he was paying for me. Second of all, babe, if it's 1,000 pounds, that is not a bit. That is rent." And guess who is nowhere to be seen to correct her? My brother. He's not there. My boyfriend? Gone with him. No signal in the restaurant. I can't text. I can't call. And I'm thinking in that moment, do I say, "He said he'd pay," and look like a beggar in front of this girl who already clearly hates me? Do I sit there and argue in a Michelin star place like it's a Greg's car park? Or do I just swallow it and die quietly? I swallowed it. I pulled out every single pound I made that entire day. All my birthday money. Everything. Then I put the rest on credit. 1,000 pounds. At 21. We left, and I cried the whole drive home. My boyfriend, now husband, literally transferred me money because he felt so bad. After that, I went no contact. Then, 12 days before my wedding, my mum lets it slip. "Oh, by the way, your brother's bringing Sarah." I said, "No, he's not." They'd already told her she could come. So I called her, and I told her very calmly, "You are not invited. You will not be attending my wedding." When I was 21, I went on a date with a 40-year-old man. I did not know he was 40 at the time. I didn't even know he was 35. I thought he was like late 20s, maybe 30 if you squinted. And before you drag me, please understand, this was 2012, I was living in Provo, Utah, I was Mormon, everyone around me was Mormon, and the culture there is like get married before you can legally rent a car. Your brain is not fully online yet. So here's how this starts. This guy, we'll call him Joey, starts messaging me on Facebook. I do not know this man. He's just in my inbox like, "Hey, we should go out sometime," smiley face. And I'm ignoring it because, "Sir, who are you?" But he keeps asking me out. Then a mutual friend of ours, let's call him Brad, comes to me in real life and says, "Hey, Joey wants to take you out." And I literally go, "Isn't he old?" And Brad is like, "I don't know, but just give him a chance, he's a good guy." That right there was mistake number one. So I say yes to this date, because apparently I had no self-preservation instinct yet. Joey picks me up and drives me to Salt Lake City to go to a Jazz game, which, okay, that part's cute. But this is where it goes from normal to this is a police report. On the drive, like literally from Provo to Salt Lake, 30 minutes, this man does not stop talking. Not like first date get-to-know-you conversation. No, he gives me his resume, his full LinkedIn, his origin story, his highlight reel. He is talking in bullet points. I played college basketball for 2 years. Then I went on my mission. For non-Mormons, that's 2 years of church service. Then I played overseas. Then I did Wall Street. Then I got my MBA. Then I did, insert more bragging here. Like it was just achievement, achievement, achievement. And I'm just sitting there in the passenger seat doing math in my head. Because he's saying all of this like it happened one after another with zero gaps. And I'm like, okay, college ball is what, 18 to 20? Mission is 2 years, so that's 20 to 22. He's back in school again. That's another 2 years, 22 to 24. Played overseas for a few years. Okay, so 24 to 27. Got my MBA. Let's say 2 more years, 27 to 29. Worked on Wall Street for a while. So now we're at like 31, 32. And that's me being generous. And I'm sitting there like, there is no mathematical way you are 28. There is no mathematical way you are even 32. This man is mid to late 30s bare minimum. So now I'm uncomfortable. Because at this point, I'm literally 21. I'm barely legally allowed to drink in normal states, okay? I'm a baby. And this grown man is love-bombing me with his CV. Also, side note, he had that thing I always tell people about, dead eyes. I'm serious. Every picture I've ever seen of him, his pupils are like bottomless. It's like he's got shark eyes. Flash hits his face, and it just bounces. It's giving something dark lives in here. I always say I could see Satan sitting behind his irises. Like if you looked too long, you'd hear whispers. That was the vibe. Anyway, we go to the game. It's fine. He pays. He's polite. But it's weird. Because he doesn't ask me anything. Like not what are you studying? Not what do you like? Not do you have siblings? Nothing. I could have been a houseplant wearing lip gloss. He just wanted a girl in the passenger seat to nod while he told his own story back to himself. After the date, I'm like, absolutely not. Never again. I tell Brad, why would you do that to me? He's clearly way older. And Brad goes, he's not that old, you're being dramatic. Okay, Brad, prison. Then it gets worse. Because after that, people start telling me stuff. Other friends, people who knew him from church stuff. I start hearing, oh yeah, Joey's always going out with younger girls. Yeah, Joey was hitting on this freshman at BYU. Yeah, Joey tells girls he's 28. Excuse me? Meanwhile, nobody fully knows his age. It's all like rumors until somebody finally confirms. He's 39. 39 years old. Let me break that down for you. I was 21. He was 39. That is an 18-year age gap. Meaning, he could legally have had me as his child. He's closer to my dad's age than mine, and he was still trying to present himself to me like we're peers. No. No, 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 no. Now, the best part. The absolute best part. The part that lives rent-free in my phone forever. He sends me a Facebook message. Mind you, he has my phone number at this point. We went on an actual date. He could have texted me like a normal person. But he messages me on Facebook, which honestly is a blessing because now I have the receipts permanently. I wish I was exaggerating, but I am going to paraphrase the core of it. Bree, I think you should rethink the idea that I'm too old to spend a couple eternities with. When our kids are first-round draft picks and we're living out our dreams, would it be so bad to be in love with a two-sport college athlete who played pro basketball, went to Harvard, is still a virgin, has a rock-solid testimony of the church, and will love you forever? A little bold, sure, but worth another shot for dinner and a movie. Winky face. Pause. Pause. First of all, a couple eternities? Sir, you are 40 using eternal marriage pitch language like it's a coupon code. Second, still a virgin? Be serious. Third, men love listing their resume like it's romance. I played ball, I have an MBA, I'm special, I'm chosen, I am God's favorite soldier. Okay, but do you have empathy? Do you have boundaries? Do you know why it's creepy to hit on 19-year-olds at a university library when you're almost 40? No. Then I don't care about your jump shot. So I sat with that message for 3 days because at first I was speechless. Then I responded, and I was honestly so nice compared to what I should have said. I said something like, "Your accomplishments are impressive, and you seem like a nice person, but you are too old to date a 21-year-old. Even if age wasn't a factor, I still wouldn't go out with you again. And talking about yourself like that, the way you're selling it, it's not attractive. It does the opposite. I don't want to be rude, but I'm just letting you know honestly." Which, by the way, was polite. That was not even smoke. That was a gentle boundary. He responds in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Which means he was waiting. And his reply is basically, it was just tongue-in-cheek, winky face. I don't normally brag, but girls around here fall for guys with big trucks and watches, so sometimes you have to sell yourself. I'm not ashamed of what I've accomplished. You're actually in the minority of 21-year-olds I've asked out, but I get it. You'll think differently when you marry a 25-year-old who doesn't know who he is. Have a great weekend, babe. Kidding on the babe. Winky face. The ego leaping out. Translation. I don't chase young girls. I'm just doing you a favor. You'll regret not wanting me. Also, I'm amazing. No accountability. No awareness. Just vibes and delusion. And here's the part that makes this a horror story instead of just cringe. It didn't stop in 2012. This man is still on dating apps now. I am 35, which, if you do basic subtraction, makes him 53. He is still lying about his age. His Hinge profile says he's 37. 37. He is still out here doing the exact same lines, hitting on girls barely old enough to drink, telling them he's 28, still calling himself a virgin, still trying to pitch eternity as a perk. I was born in the US, but I wasn't raised here. I was raised in Africa. I grew up in Senegal. That's where my actual childhood was. My parents sent me back to the States when I was 15 so I could go to school here, have more opportunities, all that. But when I came back, obviously I couldn't live on my own at 15, so I stayed with my godmother. Now, my godmother was fine. Strict but fine. The problem? Her older sister was also living in that house. When I tell you that woman made my life hell, I mean hell. Always talking down to me, always in my face about something, always treating me like I was in her way. It got so bad that as soon as I finished high school, I moved out. I didn't even have a plan. I just knew I could not breathe in that house. So I moved in with a friend. We got an apartment together, and I was like, okay, I'm finally about to have peace. That lasted about a year. After that first year, my friend got pregnant, and she wanted to move in with her baby's father when our lease ended. Which of course she did. That's her little family now. But me? I couldn't afford the apartment solo. Rent here is not cute. I was panicking because I didn't have parents in state I could just run to. I didn't want to go back to my godmother's because absolutely not. So I was stuck. Now here's where the first big mistake happens. I told my cousin what was going on and she goes, "Why don't you go stay with your Bayen?" For people who don't know that word, Bayen equals auntie on my dad's side. My father's sister. Now here's the thing. I barely knew this woman. I had met her one time in my entire life. My parents, both of them, told me, do not move in with her. She is not a good person. I'm telling you, don't do it. But listen, when you're young and broke and scared, logic packs its bags and leaves. I was like, it can't be that bad. She's family. Family won't let me be homeless. I thought I could handle it. So I moved. First red flag hits the same week I get there. Her and her husband do not speak. Like, I don't mean they're arguing right now. I mean they do. Not speak. They live in the same house. They sleep in separate rooms. But I'm like, that's their marriage, not my business. I mind my business until I realize something else. The husband is doing everything. And I mean everything. They've got 4 kids. Little kids. And this man wakes up before sunrise, goes room to room, gets all 4 kids up, bathes them, dresses them, makes their breakfast, packs their school stuff, takes them to school, comes back home, cleans the whole house, does dishes, does laundry, then goes to work. Then when school's out, he picks them up, makes them lunch, helps with homework, makes dinner, gets them bathed, puts them to bed. What is my aunt doing while all this is happening? Sleeping. Or at the salon. Or straight up going to bed the second she walks in. No, hey baby, how was your day? No, how are my kids? Nothing. She will walk in, drop her purse, and go straight to her room like she doesn't even live there. Now, I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the husband. And also I feel awkward because I'm staying there for free. So I start helping. I clean up the kitchen, I fold laundry, I do school pickups sometimes, I help get plates on the table. You know, basic decency. I'm not trying to be stepmom. I'm trying to not feel like a freeloader. And the husband? He is so grateful. He's like, thank you, I appreciate you. Just being kind, treating me like family, not weird. Like, you're a big niece helping out. That's how it felt. Until it didn't. Because this is where the problems start. My aunt decides she doesn't like that. Instead of looking at me and saying, wow, thank you for helping my kids brush their teeth while I'm ignoring them, she decides, in her head, that I must be trying to take her man. Mind you, I never flirted with this man. He is literally like a father figure to me at this point. He calls me kiddo. He tells me make sure you eat. It's not weird, but she's building this whole story in her mind, like I'm sneaking in her bed at night. And then she starts getting nasty. One time I'm in my room just taking selfies. She barges in my room unannounced and goes, what are you doing? You're a chugga now. You're selling yourself online. You're a little whore in my house. I'm just standing there like, excuse me? I told her, calm it first. Don't call me that. Don't talk to me like that. And she tries to fight me. Full-on grown woman trying to swing on me in her house, calling me out my name because I took a picture. Her husband had to come pull her off and tell her to calm down. And instead of focusing on the fact that she just tried to attack me, she turns on him and starts yelling, oh, so you're defending her now? You're protecting her? That's your little girlfriend? That's what we're doing now. I'm like, so this is mental illness. Okay, got it. It gets worse. Every 2 years I fly back to Africa to see my parents. I told her I was going, and she hated it. Hated it. Mad that I could afford a ticket. She was jealous that I was doing anything with my life. Then I saved up to get a car. I was working 2 jobs and going to school just to get out of her house. I gave her husband some money because he buys cars from auction and fixes them up to resell. So this man, again being kind and helpful, says, you can drive one of my extra cars for now while I fix yours. Normal. Basic human decency. Very uncle helping niece get on her feet. When I tell you she lost it, like lost it to the point she said, out loud, that she wanted to unalive me. Over a car. Over me being able to drive to work. And then she starts spreading rumors to everybody that I'm sleeping with her husband. Telling people in the family. Telling friends. The neighbors. Anyone who would listen. She's in my house trying to steal my man. She's disrespectful. She's fast. Just disgusting. I'm like, you're not even talking to that man. You literally do not speak to him. You sleep in a separate room. But suddenly he's your man, when he's helping with gas money? Anyway, final straw. One weekend, she and her husband go out of town. The husband's cousin was sick, so they left the kids with me. I stayed with the kids the whole weekend. Feeding them, bathing them, putting them to bed. They did not call. Not one time. Did not check in. Did not say, how are the kids doing? Nothing. During that same weekend, my boyfriend, who is now my husband, had guests over and asked me to cook. So I cooked for him at her house. I did not use any of her food, not her spices, nothing. I brought my own stuff. I cleaned up after myself. I left that kitchen spotless. Next day, she comes home and calls me while I'm at work screaming. Why are you using my stove? This is my house. You don't cook in my kitchen. You're disrespectful. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cleaned everything, I didn't. Then she switches right back to the obsession. Didn't I tell you not to talk to my husband? Didn't I tell you not to call him? I saw you called him. Why are you talking to my husband? And I just snapped. I said, are you okay in the head? Genuinely. Do you understand how sick you sound? This man is like a father to me. You are my aunt. Why would I ever in my life do something nasty like that? You need help. She goes, in 3 months, get out of my house. I said, I don't need 3 months. I'll leave today. And I did. I packed my things and I left that same day. Slept on a couch. Started over. I was done. So, my mom got married in 2008. Real wedding. Church wedding. Dress, vows, God, all that. They did everything the right way. They even did what people swear is being responsible. They both got tested for STDs before they got married. That's important. Hold on to that. So she marries this man. I'm not gonna say his name. We'll just call him him. Because that's who he thought he was, him. So after they get married, they move. Like they move out of state, start their own little life, newlyweds, cute, just the two of them. I stayed with my grandparents because of school and stability and all that. I wasn't living with them full time. So I'm getting updates secondhand, visiting on holidays, whatever. Not too long into the marriage, my mom gets pregnant. At first, it's happy. She's excited. She's calling family. She's telling people it's finally happening. She's gonna have more kids. She's feeling sick, but in that good way. Then she goes in for her first ultrasound. And at that ultrasound, they tell her 2 things. The first thing? She's having twins. Twins. So now she's overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I'm having 2 babies? It was a lot, but it was joy. Then they call her back. And she thinks, okay, it's just because I'm high risk. She's diabetic. When you're high risk, they monitor you more. That's normal. With me, they monitored her a lot, so she doesn't freak out. She's like, okay, sure, I'll come back. She comes back in, and they sit her down and they tell her, you've tested positive for HIV. Imagine being a newlywed, pregnant with twins, and a doctor in a white coat just casually tells you, oh, by the way, you now have a lifelong, stigmatized, deadly virus. She said she went blank. Not crying. Blank. Because the math was not matching. This man and her both supposedly got tested before the wedding. They both said, we're clean to each other and to the doctor. She had only been with him. So how? How? So she confronts him. And this is where you see how evil someone really is. Because instead of falling apart and confessing, yeah, I knew, he lies. He tries to gaslight. He says, that can't be right. I don't have anything. We both tested before we got married, remember? Like it's some mystery. Let me pause and tell you something that still makes me angry. When they went for those premarital tests, the doctor knew. The doctor knew he was lying. Because here's how they did it. They literally stood in the same room in front of each other, and the doctor went, do you have any STDs? And he said no, and my mom said no, that's it. They didn't hand each other the paper. They didn't compare labs. They said it out loud in front of each other. My mom didn't think anything of that, because she's trusting. She's in love. She thinks he's being honest and mature. But later, after everything blew up, she found out that doctor already knew he was positive and couldn't say anything. Because of HIPAA. HIPAA says your medical info is private. Which, okay, yes, important, we get it. But also, do you understand what that means in real life? The doctor had to sit there, watch this man lie to her face, and could not open his mouth to say, he's lying. He's about to ruin your entire body. Couldn't warn her. Couldn't pull her aside. Nothing. So this man knew. He knew his status. He knew he was positive. He married her anyway. He slept with her anyway. He got her pregnant anyway. And he just didn't care. That's attempted murder in my eyes. I don't care what the legal line is. That's evil. And it gets darker. Because he wasn't only sleeping with my mom. Him had a whole other mess going on. He slept with his boss. Yes, his boss. This woman had a boyfriend of her own. Like, she wasn't even single. And she ends up positive too. Let me explain that part because it's insane and honestly tragic. So his boss, this woman, finds out she's HIV positive. She's devastated. She basically shuts down. She stays inside her house for like 4 or 5 days. Doesn't talk to anybody. She won't answer the door. She won't pick up the phone. Her boyfriend is blowing up her phone like, "What is going on? Why are you ignoring me?" And she's just in there spiraling because she knows exactly where it came from, and she's ashamed and sick and furious and panicking and doesn't know what to do. He keeps trying to see her. He's thinking maybe she's in danger. Meanwhile, she's sitting there in silence, and because she's silent, guess what happens? He ends up getting it too. And then there's what happened on Mother's Day. Trigger warning here. Her boyfriend goes over there to confront her / check on her because he thinks she's cheating. He thinks she's ignoring him. He thinks she's doing him dirty. He's angry, emotional, lost. She's panicking, ashamed, broken. And it escalates. It escalates to the point where on Mother's Day, he literally kills her. On Mother's Day. Do you understand how insane it is that one man's selfishness cascaded into a woman being murdered? And yes, just so you know, him went to prison. Because like I said, you cannot just knowingly infect people and walk away. At least where we live, that is a crime. If you know your status and you lie and you continue exposing people, they can charge you. And they did. But that doesn't undo anything. Because here's what my mom was left with. She's pregnant. With twins. Sick. Stressed in a way that is not normal. I'm worried about rent stress. I'm talking my health, my baby's health, my whole future. Everything I thought was true about my husband was a complete lie. Stress. And stress like that, it sits in your body. It chews you up. She went into labor at 4 months. 4 months. 20-something weeks. Do you know what a baby looks like at 4 months? You're not supposed to see them yet. You're not supposed to be holding them yet. They're not supposed to be outside. She had the twins micropreemie. Emergency. Life or death situation. They were not supposed to live. My brother came out with cerebral palsy. My sister is autistic. They both needed surgeries. Plural. They were in and out of hospitals. They were fighting from literally the minute they entered the world. They are miracles, and I will say that with my whole chest. They are miracles, but do not get it twisted. They did not have to suffer like that. Their bodies did not have to be put through that. My mom did not have to almost die in delivery at 4 months. All because of him. And this is what makes me so angry even now. People hear HIV, and they want to snicker or make it about, oh, someone was being nasty. No. This man weaponized it. He weaponized his status. He used a medical condition like a bullet and just shot it into anybody who loved him and trusted him. He ruined multiple lives, multiple families, multiple bodies, and then acted like it was an accident. You think that's not violence? That's violence. Okay, listen. There's this guy, right? We're gonna call him Justin, because that is his actual name, and I hope he sees this. This man had been asking me out for ever. I'm talking maybe 20 separate asks. Minimum. Instagram DMs, Snapchat, little hey stranger texts, voice notes, reaction emojis on my stories, full campaign. Relentless. And every single time I was like, no, I'm good, haha maybe, I'm busy, not really dating right now. All the polite ways to say absolutely not. Because nothing about him felt right. He had that vibe where he thinks he's doing you a favor by breathing in your direction. But at some point, honestly, I was bored, I was hungry, I was tired of him asking. I was like, fine. 1 drink. That's it. And he's like, perfect. I know a place. So we get to this place, and it is not a place. It is not drinks. It is a whole production. It's one of those restaurants where the tables are fake rustic wood, and the napkins are actual cloth, and the menu doesn't have prices printed on it. You just have to spiritually feel the number. That should have been clue number 1. We sit down, and from the jump he is performing. Loud. Big energy. Leaning back in his chair like he owns the building. Doing that thing where he's talking to the waiter like they've been best friends for 20 years. Oh yeah man, hook us up. You know what I like? Like okay, Gordon Gekko, calm down. I'm thinking we're gonna order maybe a couple small plates and bounce. I'm in, I'm out, cute outfit documented, done. No. This man proceeds to order like he's feeding a village after a famine. He's like, we'll start with the calamari, the blistered shishitos, the crab cakes, the tuna tartare, the bone marrow, the wagyu sliders. And I'm sitting there like, sir, we are 2 people. 2. Uno dos. What are we doing? And every time I kind of laugh and go, that's probably enough, he waves me off like, nah, you gotta try this. This is like their thing. Trust me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's what he says. So then the appetizers start coming. Plural. Plates. Towers. Things in little iron skillets on wooden boards like we're in some TV chef fantasy. And I'm being polite, right? I'm trying stuff. I'm not gonna be the girl who's like, no thanks, I'll just have water, because then the story is, wow, she was no fun. So I'm tasting things. I'm making conversation. I'm doing the little that's so good noises. Then he's like, okay, Atrace. And I'm like, Atrace? Babe, we're still in the appetizer era. We haven't even turned that page of the night. He orders 2 different steaks. 2 pastas. Actually looks the waiter dead in the eye and goes, and let's throw in the duck too, because I kind of want to see what they do with it. At this point it is comedy. I'm physically full of appetizers I didn't even ask for, and this man is ordering like we're doing a tasting menu across Europe. Food comes. More eating, more talking, more haha you're so funny. Because women are literally trained to laugh for survival. Now we're at that stage where you're so full it hurts. Like you can feel your heartbeat in your stomach. I'm done. I'm taking micro sips of water, because even liquid feels like a risk. And then, he goes, so, dessert. And I actually laugh. Out loud. I go, oh my god no. I'm so stuffed. I physically cannot. I've never been this full in my life. I'm good. Normal response, right? He leans in, puts his elbow on the table like we're conspiring, and goes, nah, come on, you gotta try the cheesecake. It's like famous here. We'll just get it to share. You'll love it. Eat it. Eat it. Not do you want it. Not should we, just eat it. So now I'm actually uncomfortable. Not just full uncomfortable. There's a weird tone shift. Something about how he says it feels off. Controlling. Like I'm not here as a person. I'm here as an audience member in the Justin show. But I'm like, whatever, fine, get the stupid cheesecake. I'll poke it with a fork and pretend. So he flags the waiter over, orders dessert, still performing, still very big spender. And then, right when the dessert gets set down, his phone rings. It's the most fake urgent face I've ever seen. He does that dramatic inhale like, oh, I have to take this. Sorry. Work at 9:40 p.m. on a Thursday. Okay. He stands up, kisses 2 fingers, taps the table next to me like I'm a dog he's telling to stay, and goes, I'll be right back. And he's gone. 5 minutes. I'm like, whatever. 10. I'm scrolling. 15. I'm getting that cold, prickly feeling in my shoulders. 20. I'm done. I already know. You know that feeling? That slow horror where your body understands before your brain catches up. I get up. I grab my bag. I walk outside. Gone. Not on the phone around the corner. Not having a cigarette. Not even standing by the valet pretending to argue with his boss. No. Gone. Car gone. Man gone. Phone. Blocked. He literally blocked me while I was still sitting at the table. So I go back in, and the waiter is standing there with the check. And the way he's holding it tells me everything, because this is not the first time this has happened in this place. This place has seen this before. He kind of lowers his voice and goes, so, how would you like to handle this tonight? And I look at this bill. Let me explain something to you. This was not Applebee's. This was not 2 entrees and a shared brownie. This man, out of ego and spite, ran up a tab like we were hosting a corporate event. Appetizers, entrees, sides, cocktails, bottled water, dessert. Wagyu. Duck. Things that had market price instead of numbers. The bill is literally around $1,600. 1. 6. 0. 0. And here's the part that still makes my stomach flip. I paid it. I sat there absolutely humiliated and I paid it. Because what am I gonna do? Dine and dash? Argue with the staff? Cause a scene and get kicked out while they're calling security like I'm the scammer? And I know, that was the point. That's the part people don't understand. It wasn't about the food. It wasn't about the date. It was punishment. So I'm minding my business, right? I am at home, hair up, not cute, just scrolling. And I get a little notification. That ding, where you're like oop eyes. I open my phone, and it's a DM. I don't recognize the name, but I tap it anyway because obviously I'm nosy. And listen, he's cute. Like not you squint and maybe? Cute. No, he's regular cute. He's gym photo, jawline, well-lit selfie cute. Beard lined up. Teeth. Hat that says fishing, which is always either wholesome or a red flag. No sunglasses in the car selfies. No pics with dead animals. I'm intrigued. So he's like, hey, how's your day going? Super normal. And I'm like, okay, king, we can play. So I respond. We start talking. You know how it goes. The casual little dance. The what do you do? Where are you from? What do you like to do for fun? And of course, we're both lying immediately. He's like, yeah, I'm really outdoorsy, I hike every weekend. I'm actually going camping next month. And I'm like, oh my god, no way, I love hiking. Camping is literally my happy place. I'm such a nature person. Let me pause here to clarify something. I do not hike. I hike from my bed to my fridge, if I'm feeling brave. I camp at hotels that have breakfast vouchers. I am not sleeping in a nylon bag on the ground with raccoons. I am not peeing in trees. That is not my ministry. But you lie when you're flirting, right? That's just the ritual. Men lie about their height, we lie about liking REI. So we're going back and forth. He's funny. He's flirty, but not gross. Nothing weird. No immediate, WID pleading face energy. No unsolicited photo dumps. I'm like, okay, we could maybe see where this goes. I'm not mad at it. And then, without warning, I mean literally like no segue, no build-up, no easing in, just whiplash, he goes, hey, I've got kind of a question for you. Would you ever consider selling me your socks? Everything in my brain just stops. Like the conversation had been, haha, what's your favorite wine, smiley face. And then boom. May I purchase the garments that have personally caressed your feet? I actually stared at my phone for a minute, like maybe I misread. Maybe autocorrect did him insane. So I write back, I'm sorry, what? And he doubles down immediately. No shame, zero embarrassment, no warm-up. He's like, yeah, could I buy your socks off of you? And I'm sitting there like, sir, I do not know you. You do not know me. You have not earned this level of honesty. So I ask the obvious question because I need the data. I go, why do you want my socks? Now at this point, any reasonable person, if this was a prank, if this was a joke, if this was like some haha got you, this is where they laugh it off, right? Nope. He goes, and I quote, I just kind of got a thing for feet. Sir, a thing. For feet. Socks. Mine. He's typing like this is him ordering wings. And listen, I'm not here to kink shame. I'm not. Like, I'm really not. You like what you like. God gave everybody their own little custom brain chemistry, and some of y'all got, feet. It is what it is. But this is no longer flirty. This is now business. So I'm like, okay, pivot. Because one thing about me, entrepreneurial spirit. I am, above all else, a woman of commerce. So I just go straight into boss mode and I say $200. Just like that. No negotiation. No coupons. No promo code. $200. And he answers so fast. Like not even typing bubble delay. Immediate. Done. I said, oh. Now I'm rethinking my rate, like maybe I undersold. Maybe I'm the Walmart of socks when I could have been the luxury boutique. Maybe I'm out here moving product below market value. I'm having an existential businesswoman crisis. So now I'm like, okay, wait, this is real? He's serious? He's going to give me $200 actual dollars for socks that are currently in my drawer. Socks that are like half Target, half. Where did that one even come from? And I will be honest with you, in that moment, I was not disgusted. I was impressed. That's hustle. That's commitment. That's someone who knows what they want. So I'm like, okay, clarify for me. You just want a pair of socks I've worn before, or? This man gets specific. He says, and I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, so if you could maybe wear them for a week? Don't wash them. Especially wear them to work out if you can. Get them as sweaty as possible. And then just let them air dry. And then send them. I'll pay you up front. I actually made a noise. Like an out loud noise. You know when you read something so strong your soul just leaves your body for a second and comes back different? Yeah. It went from haha weird little quirk to, oh, you have a PowerPoint about this. Because now we're talking instructions. Now we're talking curation. Now we're talking scent profile. And you know what my first reaction was? It was not ew. It was oh absolutely not, because I do not work out. That was my line. Not the fetish. Not the week-old sweat. The gym. Absolutely not. I will not be doing cardio for a man. Ever. In this life or the next. So I tell him. I literally tell him. Selling you my socks is one thing. That's already crazy, but okay. But you think I'm gonna go run on a treadmill for you? No, baby. No, sweetheart. I'm not breaking a sweat for anybody who hasn't even taken me to dinner. Be serious. And he's trying to negotiate with me. I am not kidding. He's like, well, what if you just wear them around a lot? Like all day? Multiple days? Just don't wash them. The dirtier the better. And at this point the vibe has fully shifted. Because at first I was laughing. At first, it was like LOL men are wild. At first, I was texting screenshots to my group chat like, girl, look at this. But now it's starting to feel different. Now it's like invasive. Like he's imagining me in ways I did not invite him to imagine me. He's scripting my body. He's making plans with me in them that I didn't agree to. He's excited. I can literally feel the excitement through the phone, and it's not cute anymore. It's hungry. And that's when I was like, okay, nope. We're done. Because you can joke flirt. You can hustle. You can even be a little weird. But that switch, that entitlement switch, where a guy goes from can I ask you something, to here's what you're going to do for me, that's when it becomes scary. So I just shut it down. I go, yeah, I'm not doing all that. I'm not interested. And he's still trying. Still pushing. Come on, it's easy money. You'd be so good at this. I'll be your best customer. Like, sir, why are you talking to me like I just interviewed for a position at Funky Feet LLC? So I'm at Walmart, minding my own business, doing regular errands. I'm in leggings, bonnet, not cute, not trying to impress nobody. I'm literally in there for like paper towels and body wash. I'm heading towards self-checkout, and I hear, hey, Kirsten. I turn around, and it's this girl I went to school with. Haven't seen her in forever. We weren't like best friends, but we were cool enough to talk in the hallway back in the day, you know? So I'm like, oh my god, hey girl. It's been forever. Real casual. We do that little catch-up convo. You still around here? You got kids? You still talk to so-and-so? You know how that goes. I'm thinking it's just small talk. Then she goes, out of nowhere, can you give me a ride home? Now pause. Flag on the play. Because first of all, I did not ask where you came from. I did not say, how did you get here? I said, how you been? And somehow we jump straight to can you take me home? So I ask, how did you get here? Because I need context. And she goes, I walked. You walked. To Walmart. In this heat. With no bag in your hand. You ain't buy nothing. So immediately I feel bad. Because I am not heartless. I'm thinking, okay, maybe she fell on hard times, maybe her car's down, maybe she needed to grab something small. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can take you home. That's fine. That was mistake number one. Let me be very clear. That was the moment the movie soundtrack should have gone dark. So we're walking out to my car, and I notice she is not walking next to me. She's behind me, like lagging, stalling, texting, looking down at her phone every few seconds. Walking slow like she's dragging a refrigerator. I'm low-key like, girl, if you don't pick them knees up, because I'm ready to go. I'm not trying to hang out in a Walmart parking lot at dusk. No ma'am. But I brush it off. I'm like, maybe she's tired from all that walking. Cool. We get in my car. I put my seatbelt on. I start the car. I'm like, okay, where am I taking you? She starts giving me directions like she's a broken GPS from 2004. Okay, go down this road. Okay, turn right up here. No, keep going, past that light, keep going, just a little further. Yeah, turn right again. Now, I'm watching the time because she originally said she lived like 14 minutes away. I remember 14. She said it real casual, like, oh, it's just like 14 minutes, nothing crazy. So in my head I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. 14 minutes there, 14 minutes back, no big deal. Except we've been driving for 20, then 22, then 25. And we are not in town anymore. The neighborhoods are getting sparse. The street lights are getting less frequent. The houses are not even houses anymore. It's like half-built things and trailers and dirt driveways. My stomach is starting to feel weird. So I go real calm. Hey, are you sure this is the right way? Because I feel like we passed 14 minutes a minute ago. And she's like, yeah, keep going, it's right up here. Turn left. So I turn left, and now we're literally on a road with no paint lines. Trees. Ditches on both sides. One house every, 300 feet. The kind of place where if your car breaks down, God better come get you personally, because AAA can't find you. And I'm thinking, why were you at Walmart? Then she goes, okay, turn here. That's our driveway. When I tell you this was not a driveway, baby, this was a path. This was 2 tire ruts cutting into dirt with a ditch on each side like a moat. If my tires slid 6 inches left or right, my little car was gone. And she's like, yeah, just pull up to the house, it's fine. Already I'm like, I don't know about this. But I start to creep down this skinny little death path because at this point we're in it. We get like halfway down, and I look up, and I see a man walking out the house. Let me rephrase that. I see a man walking out the house holding a pew-pew. I'm not saying the word for obvious reasons, but you get me. He's not hiding it. It's not like, oh, maybe he's just cleaning it. No. He's holding it like it lives in his hand. Like it's his keychain. So now every alarm in my body is going off. Before I can even say anything, she goes, "Oh, that's my brother. Don't worry about him." Excuse me? Don't worry about him where? He's walking toward my car. Slow. Looking. Not smiling. And I'm sitting there in my car like, okay. So this is how girls end up on missing posters. This is literally how it starts. So I very calmly, put my car in reverse. And she's like, "Wait, just pull up to the house real quick." Like she's trying to stall. She still has not gotten out of my car. That's important. We're in the driveway, basically at the house, and she is still sitting in the passenger seat like, "No, just pull all the way up." "No, ma'am. Why are you not getting out if this is your house? Why are you waiting for me to pull up if we're already here? Why is your brother outside with a weapon and you're acting like that's just a family dog?" So at that point, I don't care about the ditch no more. I don't care about scratching my bumper. I do not care about anything except getting my whole body away from whatever this is. I throw that car in reverse and I back out that long dirt path like I am in Fast and Furious 12. Get me out of here. I did not blink. I did not breathe. I'm just beep, 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 beep the whole way, praying to not roll into that ditch. We hit the main road and I stop. I stop right there on the side of the road. I'm like, "Okay, you can get out here." She's like, "Can you just drive me up to the..." Nope. Doors unlocked. Have a blessed night. She gets out the car slow like she's confused, like I'm being rude. She's looking at me like I'm the problem. I'm like, girl. I almost became an episode. Soon as that passenger door clicked, I pulled off so fast my soul had to catch up to my body. And then on the drive back, it hits me what probably almost happened. Because think about it, she stalls in Walmart. She's texting someone. She gets in my car and drags the ride out past what she said. She keeps directing me, instead of giving me an address. Then when we finally get there, there's a man already outside waiting. With a weapon. And she doesn't get out of the car. I don't know what the plan was. I don't want to know what the plan was. But my spirit knew it wasn't, just say hi to my brother. And this is why I'm done being nice. Because I'm the type of person who will feel bad and say yes. I will. "Oh, you walked? You need a ride? Okay, I'll help." And that's exactly how people get set up. You think it's kindness. Meanwhile, somebody else thinks it's opportunity. From now on, no. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. The answer is no. Can you drive me? No. It's not far. No. My phone died. No. I just need a quick favor. No. You can call an Uber, a Lyft, a cab, a cousin, your God. You cannot call me. And if you ever do get soft and say yes, the second something feels off, I don't care how awkward it is, turn around. Turn around. Because listen, I almost talked myself into "It's fine, don't be rude." My body was screaming, "This is weird." And my brain tried to be polite. Polite will get you killed. So yeah, lesson learned. I'll pray for you, but I am not driving you. So this is why I do not let work people get comfortable with me, and why family-owned business is not the green flag you'll think it is. A while back I worked for this small company, like literally husband and wife owned. Not a franchise, not a chain, just their little empire. The wife basically ran the office. She was the office manager / dispatcher / I know everything that's happening at all times. The husband was in and out. Sometimes he'd be in the shop, sometimes he'd be out riding with the techs, doing field work. It was we do everything ourselves, very mom and pop except with yelling. My job was customer service. Answer phones, talk to customers, log issues, send out technicians. You know, the middle person, the translator, the one who gets screamed at from both directions and gets paid the least. That was me. Now, the important thing to know is the environment in that office was tense. I don't mean, some personality clashes. I mean, you could feel the marriage problems in the air like humidity. They were always low-key arguing. You'd hear it through the door. You'd hear her muttering about how he doesn't listen, and you'd hear him slamming something in the back because she disrespected him in front of employees. It was like working at the reunion episode of a reality show. I minded my business. I did not comment. I was like, that's between y'all and Jesus, not me. Cool. So one day, this older woman calls in. She's having an issue with her system. I'm not going to say what kind of system because privacy, but just know it wasn't something I could fix over the phone. I tried. I really did. I walked her through a couple steps, had her try this, try that, unplug, replug, reset. Nothing. She said, "One of your guys came out already. He said he'd come back because it's still not working, and he never came back." So I'm like, alright, that's a problem. Because first of all, that makes us look bad. Second, she sounds like somebody's grandma. She doesn't sound like she's trying to scam a free visit. She sounds genuinely frustrated, and low-key scared she's gonna be without the service she needs. So I ask her, what tech was it? She says his name. We'll call him John. So I hang up and I call John. At this point, John is out in the truck with the husband, like they're together on jobs that day. So I get John on the phone and I'm like, "Hey, did you tell Ms. Customer you were coming back and just forget? Can you please go back over there and fix it? She's calling again." He goes, "Oh shoot, I completely forgot. Yeah, we'll swing by there now." Problem solved. Right? Easy. That's literally my job. Customer had a problem. I connected tech to problem. They're going to fix it. Everyone wins. I go back to my little desk, thinking absolutely nothing of it. Meanwhile, and I didn't know this part yet, at some point between my call and them actually going to the lady's house, the wife calls John too. She's like, "Hey, I need you to go do other job in other location." And John tells her, "Well, I gotta stop by customer I called about first because she called me and reminded me and we're on the way there now." He says my name, innocently, because I called him, because that's my literal position. And apparently that set something off in her. Like something switched in her brain from employee relate a message to this girl thinks she runs my shop. So maybe 30-40 minutes later, I get called to the back. And not like, "Hey, can you come here a sec?" Cute. It's come to the office. Door closed. Tone different. Stomach drop. I walk in, and it's the wife sitting behind the desk like a principal. She's got that tight face. And she hits me with, "I didn't know you had permission to direct technicians." I said, "What?" She said, "I didn't know you were in charge of dispatching now. I didn't know you were the one telling them where to go." And I'm standing there in my little polo like, "Ma'am, that's literally the job you hired me for." Like I said, my role is, customer calls me, I call the tech goes where the problem is. I didn't rear out a truck for fun. I didn't send him to Florida. I asked him to go back and fix something he forgot to fix. That's customer service, not a coup d'etat. But she is not trying to hear logic. She is in full attitude. She goes, "Next time, you clear it with me first. You don't send anybody anywhere without going through me. That's not professional. You don't make me look stupid in front of my husband and my techs." And I'm like, "I wasn't trying to make you look like anything. The customer said he promised to come back. He said he forgot. He said he'd go. That's all that happened." And she says, and I'll never forget this, she says, "That's not what I was told." So now I'm confused. Because what were you told? What did John say between my call and your call? I didn't say anything wild. I didn't try to boss anybody. I literally said, "Hey, can you go back? She's upset." That's it. I go back to my desk after that little talk feeling weird. Like the air is different now. You know that feeling when you know someone has decided they don't like you anymore? That. And then it gets disgusting. One of the other girls in the office, not even on some messy stuff, just being real with me, pulls me aside later and goes, "Hey, just so you know, she's saying you're getting too close with her husband." I said, "I'm sorry?" She said, "Yeah. She's telling people you're being inappropriate with him. She called you disrespectful, said you're always talking to him, trying to make her look bad in front of him. She told me you're acting like you're sleeping with him." When I tell you I almost blacked out, ma'am, first of all, your husband is old. Second, your husband is not even in the office half the time. Third, I literally avoid talking to him because every time y'all are in the same room, the tension is so thick I feel like I need safety goggles. I have never flirted with this man in my life. I don't even want your man. I barely want my own on a good day. Be serious. And that right there, that was my line. Because it wasn't just "you overstepped at work." It immediately became, "You're sleeping with my husband." Which, by the way, is not a small accusation in a tiny, gossipy, family-run business. That kind of rumor doesn't stay in the back office. That kind of rumor follows you. That kind of rumor becomes your whole personality in that place. And the worst part, I didn't even do anything wild. I did my job and treated a customer like a human being and told a man to fix what he promised he'd fix. That was enough for her to flip me into the problem. And I knew exactly what it really was. It was never about the egg boiler call or don't send texts without me. It was about the fact that her husband, in that moment, agreed with me. She tried to get me in trouble with him, and instead of backing her and saying, "Yeah, babe, that girl shouldn't have called John," he probably said something like, "Nah, she did the right thing. The customer needed it." And that, to someone already insecure, already angry at him, already thinking every woman is a threat, that felt like betrayal. But instead of handling her marriage with her husband, she projected it on me, the easiest target. The employee. The girl who needs the check. There is just something so irritating about sitting across from someone on a first date and realizing, mid-meal, mid-sip, mid-smile, "Oh, you should not be here." Emotionally, spiritually, legally maybe. Like, why are you wasting my time in real time? So, last summer, I go on this first date. Cute little Italian spot. Candles, small tables, bread basket, house red in those little glasses that make you feel like you're in a movie. He shows up and he looks like his pictures, which is honestly already a miracle. He's kind of fun. He talks a lot, and he's got this energy to him. Not creepy, not aggressive, just very wired. Kind of buzzing. You can tell there's something going on under the surface, but he's trying to play it cool. We sit down, we start talking, he's funny. I'm like, okay, I'll give this a chance. And then about 20-25 minutes in, like literally before my fork has even hit pasta, he hits me with, "So when was your last relationship?" Just like that. No warm-up. No, what music do you like? No siblings. Pets. Just straight to trauma hour. And I'm honest. I go, pretty recent actually. I just got out of something about 2 months ago. I'm kind of getting back out there now, seeing how I feel. Which to me is very normal. 2 months is recent. 2 months is, I still have his hoodie somewhere in my closet, recent. 2 months is, I still hate certain songs now, recent. He laughs. Actually laughs. And I just look at him like, "I'm sorry, what was the joke?" And he goes, "You think 2 months is recently single?" So I go, "Yes. Yes, I do. How recently single are you then?" Because now I already know it's about to get stupid, and I want to hear him say it. And he goes so casual, like, 48 hours. I just stare at him. I'm like, "As in 2 days?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I go, "When did you break up?" And he goes, "Sunday." And I go, "As in this past Sunday?" And he's like, "Yeah." Reminder, this conversation is on a Tuesday. So now I'm sitting across from this man, who is on a date with me 2 days after a breakup, and he's acting like I'm the weird one for thinking that's insane. So I tell him, "Okay, well, I don't think we're looking for the same thing." And he looks legitimately confused. Like I just told him I was moving to Mars. He goes, "What do you mean?" "I'm totally over it." "Sir, you are not totally over it. You are still in the draft not sent paragraph stage of grief. Your ex still has stuff at your apartment. Her shampoo is still in your shower. If I opened your notes app, right now I would find something that starts with, 'I just think it's funny how.'" So I ask him, just to be sure I'm not hallucinating, "How long were you two together?" He shrugs like it's nothing and goes, "I don't know, like 10 months? 10 months. 10 months is basically a fiscal year. 10 months is holidays, birthdays, meeting friends, inside jokes, all of it. 10 months is not casual. 10 months is, you've seen me sick and I've seen your childhood pictures." And he thinks he is totally over it, 2 days later. No. At that point it's obvious what's happening. Option A, he's trying to make his ex jealous. He wants to be able to say, "Oh, you're sad? That's crazy because I'm already out with someone new," slightly smiling face that. "You are not actually a date. You are a prop." Option B, he is looking for a rebound. Translation, he wants attention, physical closeness, and proof that he's still wanted so he doesn't have to feel what he's actually feeling. And neither of those are my job. And the part that annoys me most? He didn't tell me this before the date. He waited until I showed up, got dressed, did makeup, sat down, ordered a drink, then dropped, "By the way, I am actively in the middle of an emotional house fire." Like, sir, respect my time. So, I match with this guy. He's cute in his pictures, he's not talking in all gifs, he doesn't immediately say, "Hey sexy." So already we're working with above average material, right? We start chatting, it's normal, he's funny, he seems smart, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll meet you. We go to this sports bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Very chill. Wings, beer, game on in the background, that kind of place. And honestly, at first it's going great. He's easy to talk to. We're laughing. I'm thinking, okay, wow, this might actually be a good one. Maybe I won't have to block this one by Thursday. So after a while, he's like, "Do you want to come back to my place and keep hanging out?" And since nothing has felt weird yet, I say sure. We go back to his place, and it still feels fine. We're sitting, talking, vibing. Then his phone rings. He looks at the caller ID and gets real serious. He's like, "Hold on, it's my brother." And he steps into the other room. Now at first I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm scrolling, I'm just sitting there, I'm normal. But then I start hearing pieces of the conversation. Words like biopsy, oncologist, lungs, chemo. And that's when I'm like, oh no. He comes back into the room, sits down, and just sighs like the weight of the entire world is on him. And he goes, "I have really bad news." So I'm immediately like, what happened? He starts telling me that his brother has testicular cancer. Says his brother already had to have one testicle removed. Says they found a spot on his lung, did chemo, had surgery, removed it, and now there's another spot on the other lung. He says they need to go see a cancer doctor in the morning in Fort Wayne. He's talking fast, like he's rattled. He looks stressed. He's apologizing to me, telling me he's sorry to cut the night short, but family emergency. And of course, I feel awful, because I'm a normal human being with a heart. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You don't even have to explain, just go. Go be with your brother. It's okay. I totally get it. I tell him I'll get out of his hair, I hug him, I wish him and his brother well, and I leave. Like, I walk out of there feeling sad for this man, and sad for his family. Next morning, I open Bumble, and Bumble basically tells me, this user is no longer available. As in, he unmatched me. Didn't text. Didn't check in. Didn't say, hey, I'm at the hospital, I'll talk later. He just vanished. And I sat there like, oh no, no way. You did not just lie about your brother having cancer to get rid of me. So I text him, because yes, I still have his number. And I say, you didn't have to lie. You could have just told me you weren't interested. And do you know what this man says? He says, yeah, I'm just not really interested. I didn't know how to say it. Sorry. Like that. Like this is normal. And that's when I actually got mad. Because listen, it's not that he didn't like me. I don't care. That happens. Not everyone is for everyone. It's fine. It's that instead of being an adult and saying, hey, I'm not feeling a spark, he did a whole dramatic medical storyline and killed off his imaginary brother's imaginary lungs. He lied about cancer. And not like a vague, he's sick. No. He gave me stages, details, timelines, surgery, chemo. He looked me in the face and performed it. I'm not going to say who this story is about, because people are nosy, and I'm not trying to start drama with anybody's cousins, okay? But let's just say this is from a mutual family friend. Close enough that it's real. Close enough that I believe every word. So, my friend starts going to the gym. And I don't mean like, I go to the gym January 2nd, 3rd, and then vanish. I mean she's in there constantly. All hours. 5 in the morning before work. 10 at night in leggings and a hoodie, hair in a bun, headphones on, don't talk to me. She's serious. She's lifting, she's doing cardio, she's stretching. She's in her, I'm focusing on myself, body and mind era. And she notices something. There's this older guy who is somehow always there too. Doesn't matter when she shows up. Early? He's there. Late? He's there. Random Tuesday afternoon, when she sneaks out of work early? Still there. Like he lives there. Like he pays rent to Planet Fitness. But here's the thing, he looks good. That's important context. She kept saying that. No, listen, he's older, but he looks so good. Like skin still smooth, salt and pepper beard lined up. Not sloppy. No beer belly. The kind of older guy where you're like, oh okay, I see the appeal. And he's polite. He's not creepy trainer touchy. He's not doing, let me correct your form, with his hands all over her. He approaches her like a gentleman, makes her laugh, actually listens, gives I'm stable, I'm mature, I take care of myself energy. So when he starts flirting, she lets it happen. They talk. They text. They go out. Coffee, smoothie bowls, a couple casual dates. Nothing serious yet, but consistent. He's attentive. He calls. He compliments her. He acts like he's really into her. And I'm telling you, she is into him back at this point. Now here's where it changes. After like a few weeks, once they're a little more physical, he starts pushing to come over to her apartment. Not, can I see you again? Not, let's get dinner. It's, when can I come to your place? Why don't we just hang out at your place tonight? It'll be more comfortable at your place. very focused on her apartment, very urgent about being in her space. And she's like, She's not super comfortable with that. She doesn't really like men in her apartment like that, especially this early, and she tells him, "No, let's go to your place." And the second she says that, he has a story ready. He hits her with, "Oh, yeah, I actually live with my mom. She's 91. I take care of her. She's fragile, she goes to bed early, and I just don't really want to bring anybody over and disturb her." Now, that sounds sweet, and that is on purpose, because when a man tells you, "I take care of my elderly mother," what do you hear? Provider, caregiver, responsible, loyal. I'm a good man. He knows that. So at first she's like, that's actually so nice. But also her gut is not matching them. Something is still off. Something in her stomach is like, no. So she stands on it. She keeps saying no. "We're not going to my place. We can go to yours. If we can't do that, we're not hanging out tonight." And after enough of that, he finally caves. He's like, "Okay, fine, we'll go to my place. Just don't judge, it's kind of under construction right now." Under construction. Cool. So they drive over. And she told me the second they pulled up, her brain went, absolutely not. First red flag, the house looks rough. I'm talking paint peeling, porch leaning, grass not cut, random junk in the yard. There's a rusted out old Cadillac just sitting there like lawn decor. This is not, "I take care of my elderly mother in our nice quiet home." This is a situation. Second red flag, before they even walk in the door, she can smell food cooking and hear voices. Multiple voices. Not TV. People. She's already like, "Wait, I thought your 91-year-old mom lived alone, and you're just there helping her." They walk inside, and it is chaos. There are several people in this house. Shoes everywhere. Bags everywhere. One dude literally at the stove making food like it's his kitchen. This is not his mom's place. This is a crowded shared house. And then it hits her. He doesn't live with his mother. He lives in his mother's house. He is not taking care of her. He is staying there. Those are not the same. And he is not embarrassed. At all. He is not like, "Oh, sorry about the mess." No. He immediately tries to pull her in close, kiss her, get handsy like he's about to hook up with her right there. In the living room. With other people walking around. Not even pretending this is private. And that's when she realizes, this man does not have a bedroom to take her to. That couch? That is his bed. And everything snaps into focus. Why he was always at the gym, showers, AC, somewhere to be. Why he was moving fast romantically. Lock her down. Why he wanted to be at her place so bad, he wanted access. He is not looking for a girlfriend. He is looking for housing. Let me say that again for the girls in the back who think it's just Netflix and chill. He was not trying to date her. He was trying to move in. And the wildest part? This man is in his 60s. Not 47 and cute salt and pepper. 60. 6. 0. Grown man age. He really thought he was about to secure a place to sleep by fast-tracking intimacy and love-bombing her. Picture it, New York City. I'd gone out with this guy maybe twice before. Nice enough, decent job, normal teeth. So when he asked if I wanted to come by his apartment after dinner for a glass of wine before heading home, I said sure. I lived in Brooklyn, he lived in Manhattan, so I figured what could go wrong. I walk in, and immediately I knew. The kitchen sink wasn't just full of dishes, it was overflowing. The dishes had colonized the counter, migrated to the stove, and were breeding. Pots, pans, cups, stuff growing life forms. You couldn't even see the sink anymore. I tried to stay cool, sat down on the couch, and he's like, "I'll get us some wine." I quickly said, "You got any plastic cups?" Because there was no way my lips were touching anything that came from that biohazard of a kitchen. So we're sipping, talking, I'm politely trying not to breathe too deep, and then I have to pee. I open his bathroom door and, oh my God, the toilet looked like it hadn't been cleaned since the Bush administration. Black buildup, brown streaks, smells that could end civilizations. I stood there frozen, panicking, before spotting cleaning supplies under the sink. So yes, on my third date, I cleaned a man's toilet just so I could use it. He knocks, opens the door, sees me scrubbing, and goes, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. I've got the stuff to clean it." Sir, having the stuff isn't the same as using it. I left immediately, took a taxi back to Brooklyn, and never spoke to him again.